Hi everybody, welcome back to Shine On. My name is Amanda.
My name is Kristen.
And today we're going to be talking about gratitude and inventions from space we appreciate.
So what is gratitude? So students recognize what others did for them and express appreciation by saying thank you or doing something nice for someone else as a way of thanking them.
So with that in the back of our head, we're actually going to talk about the Hubble Telescope right now. So take a second. If you know what Hubble is, great. If not, we're going to watch a video. And while we're watching, I want you to think about why Hubble is so important and how it helps us learn about space.
Let's play a game. What's the size of a school bus that travels 5 miles per second and takes some of the coolest pictures in the universe? The answer is right above you. Well, about 340 miles above you. And it's called Hubble.
The Hubble Space Telescope is the most important tool that we have for understanding our universe and what our place within it is.
From space, Hubble can see planets, stars, and galaxies much clearer than telescopes here on the ground. Some as far as 13.4 billion light years away. Its images have completely changed the way we think about viewing the stars.
Prior to the launch of Hubble, when we thought of astronomy and telescopes, we really thought essentially of telescopes on the ground. People looking through eyepieces and things like that.
No one knows exactly who invented the first telescope, but in 1610, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei was the first to point his own homemade telescope up toward the stars. Then, more than 300 years later, astronomer Edwin Hubble used a large telescope to discover entire galaxies.
The telescope itself is named the Hubble Space Telescope after Edwin Hubble, and one of these iconic images is of Edwin Hubble himself looking through one of these telescopes that you could almost mistake for the Hubble if it were in space.
Instead of an eyepiece, Hubble uses digital cameras. This camera can record visible light, ultraviolet light, and even infrared light. And scientists look forward to using Hubble to solve the mysteries of outer space.
Today, demand for the Hubble Space Telescope is at a record high. Anybody in the world can write a proposal to use Hubble, and we're receiving more than 1,000 proposals every year for scientists wanting to tackle tough questions about the universe. Hubble is always doing the best science that's out there.
Okay, so now we have some out-of-this-world facts about Hubble. So the Hubble Space Telescope is 43.5 feet long and 14 feet wide. That is way bigger than all of you. It weighs more than 11,000 kilograms too, so huge. It costs around $1.5 billion. So not just $1 million, but $1 billion. That's a lot of money. And it is nearly the size of a large school bus, but it can easily fit into the cargo bay of a space shuttle. So that just shows you how big a space shuttle is. If it can fit, the big Hubble telescope can fit inside the cargo bay of the shuttle. It was also launched into space with the help of the space shuttle called Discovery on April 24th, 1990. So it just recently had its 31st anniversary. It runs on solar power, which is provided by two 25-foot solar panels. And some of you might even have solar panels on your house, on your roof that power some of the things in your home from the sun. It's also been in service for 20 years, and it has made 9,300,000 observations. And it finished one complete rotation around the Earth with a speed of 28,000 kilometers per hour. So that is really, really fast.
Okay, so what would Hubble be like? What would our lives be like if Hubble never went up into space? So we saw from the video that we know that it takes pictures, but why do we need to know these pictures? If not, we really wouldn't know much about space. So in that first picture, that was the first picture that Hubble ever captured and told scientists more about what space is like. Scientists in all other countries are using Hubble to make these discoveries. And in that middle picture, you see all these certain stars and planets that we now know because of Hubble. And scientists have found planets and stars outside of the solar system. So we're in the Milky Way. So outside of the Milky Way, there are so many more planets and stars that we don't know about without Hubble.
So how can you show gratitude? So we know that we should really appreciate the Hubble telescope. And in your life, some things that you can appreciate are if someone does something nice for you, like maybe they give you a present. You can show appreciation by writing them a thank you note, or just saying thank you. If you're in the cafeteria and the person who makes your lunch, you can thank them. Or you can help out around your house by doing some chores and show your appreciation for your family for taking care of you by doing things that they might not even ask you to do and just taking out the garbage just to be nice. You can also volunteer and do community service. So if you live in a community where you really like going to the library and the librarians always help you out, you can volunteer in the library and help clean up the library or do some tasks the librarian might want you to do just to give back and show how much you appreciate their service. And you can also write a letter to someone. So maybe if a person does something nice for you, or maybe your teacher, you can write a letter thanking them for teaching you and helping you become a better person.
Okay, so now you're all gonna write letters to the astronauts that you talked to last week, and Cheyenne is actually gonna send those out to those astronauts that you spoke to. So let's look at an example of what you guys should be writing. So I'm sure you all know this, but you always wanna put dear and who you're addressing it to. So we're not really sure their names, and that's okay if you don't remember either. If you wanna put their names, you can, or you can just put dear astronauts. And I want you guys to talk about as much as you can. So I said, thank you for sharing your experience about space and answering my questions. I really thought it was cool to see you guys in the International Space Station. And anything else that you want to add, maybe you have more questions, you can ask them more questions. Or if you really want to know more about space, anything that you want to ask, but be as detailed as possible because it's going to be your name on this. So when you sign it off, you can put love, sincerely, kindly, from, and your name. So they're going to read those and they're going to see that you really appreciated your letters and that they felt really good that you learned so much during the downlink.
So thank you so much for listening and good luck writing your letters. We want you to practice gratitude every day. Write letters for more people. This is great practice that you're going to get by writing letters for the astronauts. And don't forget to always say thank you. And we want to show our gratitude to you all for watching our video by saying thank you and have fun writing your letters.